Welcome everyone to the 12th annual Buffalo Run, sponsored by Innova. Throw your best. This is officially the back nine of round one. Bigfoot Mike coming at you live, joined by my boy Mason. Say what's up to the people.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining us for back nine coverage. We hope that you got to see our front nine coverage of round one. If you didn't, hop on over there, give that video a watch, and then come right back here to see the back nine.
We also want to give mention to our another title sponsor, Texoma Dirty Work Landscaping Tree Service, #1 tree cutting service in all of Oklahoma.
The Innova Rolo, the disc made for rolling. 4. The Rolo, making rollers fun.
All right, here we are to start off the back nine. We've got hole 10, which is normally hole 12 at this course. Par 3, 354 feet, averaging 2.82, so a few birdies on this hole, averaging just under par. It's a pretty big shot, a lot of hill to cover. Got to get all the way up that hill and then down on the right side and around the trees. There's lots of little guardian trees up near the basket here.
You can see the OB line there kind of hugging the right side, but this has got no problems getting inside circle for Emerson, keeping that momentum flowing here on this back nine.
You can see GT's going to take a different route here than Emerson. He's going to try to play the Annie shot, but it looks like it's fading out pretty quick. He might have a little look through there.
One thing this hole for sure is very uphill. So this 354 definitely plays a lot longer than that reads.
And that's going to be OB for Fredy. Abe trying to go for the big Annie too, but it just never gets around, and this just starts to roll. It needs to sit before it goes OB. It kind of just rolled backwards, actually. I don't think that disc was in trouble. It actually kind of put him in a good spot here where he's got a pretty easy shot down to the pin. One of the big difficulties with if you're left on this basket is that you have almost nothing trying to shoot down through those little trees. You can see GT here, what he's left with. Can't even really go for the basket. Kind of just has to play for par.
Yeah, there's lots of little tough spots here, just making it difficult once you get inside circle one.
Yeah.
Man, just keeping the momentum flowing right there. 10 down through 10 now for Emerson.
Fredy's able to make a good putt there. Abe's in for his par.
And now we head to hole 11. Par 4, 471 feet. As you can see, a little bit tight off the tee, but really it opens up. This fairway, you really want to kind of take it over the road, and on this right side, plays back uphill, and this is an elevated D-position basket. So this next approach shot into this, as well as leaving yourself the putt, it can get really squirrely. You can have lots of rollaways. These rocks come into play. So let's see what these guys can drum up here. See Emerson on the tee right here.
I would imagine most of these guys are going to play out over the road. It's just the safest way to set yourself up for the second shot. Emerson goes pretty wide here, but it's got plenty of distance. He actually got pretty much all the way down there. Even with where he's at, it's going to be tough to putt uphill. He's probably 50 to 60 feet from the basket with about a 20-foot uphill.
Oh, that's just unlucky right there from GT. I mean, those telephone poles don't really come into play, but as you can see, they can.
Yeah, they definitely can. It's about the only thing you have to miss if you're going out over the road. That, or you make the opposite mistake that we see here with Abe, which is you cut it too tight into the trees. Although I will say there is a forehand line through the woods there. I saw many people throwing that I played with over the course. And Fredy just kind of hit something early. This still isn't a bad spot. You can still birdie from here if you throw a good enough shot. He really kind of sawed that one off, though.
Looks something stable right there, and you could see how the undulation around the green just factors in.
Abe's going to take that forehand route through the trees that I was talking about. I think really one of the best things is if you can kind of just stick the disc right there into those rocks and it not do anything, but just sit there. That's pretty much what you want on this hole on the approach. Yeah, just play right up to those rocks, and he's going to tap in birdie. Looks like Emerson will continue to extend his 1 down per hole average here. The question is, now that we're to the back half and Emerson's about to do it on the 11th hole, is can he throw an 18 down on this course, Mike?
You know, I got to imagine he's thinking this through his mind. Oh, man, there's a tough break right there for Abe with the rollaway. But, you know, I got to imagine, 11 down through 11. Emerson's probably thinking, man, this could be a special day for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's a career day, I think on any course, but especially on a course this long. Over 10,000 feet to play the course 18 down. I mean, that's some next level stuff, even for a pro like Emerson.
Fredy cleaning that up. That's one thing on this course is that, you're just going to have lots of different putting angles and uphill, downhills. I mean, you're just all over the place putting.
Yeah, there are very few baskets on this course in the current layout where it's just flat ground. There's very few. Almost everything, you're either going to have an uphill or a downhill or a hill behind the basket that could cause a rollaway. So, yeah, it's tough putting out here. Next up, we got hole 12, par 3, 339 feet, averaging half a stroke over par. This hole's actually pretty tough. You've got all those trees to contend with early, and then we're flying right by this little OB pond. Kind of an elevated basket here up on this pedestal. Definitely rollaway opportunity if you blast past it on the upshot.
And there's about 3 or 4 real small trees that you got to miss right there in the middle of the fairway. And Emerson's just outside circle right there. Unreal drive right there, y'all.
Yeah, it's pretty great. The backhand shot is tough here, but it's doable. The big thing is to get over this pond.
That's right in it, right there. That's not what he wanted.
That's the risk of throwing that shot is if you glide right over that pond, you're probably parked. But if you are short at all, you are in the pond. If you are long at all, there's actually another little OB pond right behind the basket. So it's very tough to dial in that kind of straight, moving right backhand.
Man, that's a tough one there for Abe. Just, if you hit anything early, it's just you're playing plinko here in the trees.
This hole's coming in as the 3rd hardest hole on the course this weekend.
Oh, man.
Falls off the backside, but he stays safe. Should be an okay recovery spot. He's going to have a putt up there at the basket. GT just going to lay up and take his 4.
And I think, that's a tough one to run in that position. Just, obviously he's got to think if he runs that too far past, that's going to leave a tough par putt. So I'm sure that probably ran through his mind. I know he wants to keep that birdie streak going, but at the end of the day, too, he didn't want to lose strokes either.
Yeah, honestly, even with the par there, I don't think that the 18 down round is totally gone because 15 is definitely eagleable. So if he plays lights out the rest of the way and eagles 15, he could still get that perfect round.
Hole 13 is a par 4, 525 feet, averaging just slightly over par, 4.10. This second shot here is very challenging because it plays into an island green. So a lot of players are going to elect to either play short, but as you see, you got to play over this road right in the corner there, and you'll see a bunch of flags surrounding the basket right there. But right there in that rock section, that's where the basket's going to be at. And so you really want to be careful, especially as you approach this green. You really want to be able to go at least 300, 350 here off the tee to set that second shot up.
And all of these guys have big enough arms that we're going to see probably almost all of them go over the top and try to get out here to this open area.
There is some OB left here, but that typically doesn't come into play unless you hit something super early. Yeah, this pin position was debuted last year in the 11th annual. And so this is year 2 of this position, which is definitely interesting.
Oh, is that going to stay? Yeah, he got far enough up there. Looked like that might have been cutting left into early OB, but it pushed enough.
This is a tough decision now for GT if he's going to try and go for the green or he's going to lay this one up.
With it being round 1, he may decide to play this a little more conservative. Oh, that looks like a play for the green. That looks good.
Yeah, this is GT, baby. He's going for it.
Yeah.
It's a great shot right there from GT.
One thing I've noticed playing this hole both years is that there's something about... Oh, and he goes OB long. There's something about this hole where as soon as your disc gets out over that road... Something about the airflow just seems to make the disc just drop. So you kind of got to rely on a skip sometimes like that.
Absolutely.
I've seen many shots that people were just trying to air shot it all the way over there, and as soon as it hit that airspace above the road, they just kind of drop and go OB.
Yep.
That's picture perfect right there. That's how it should be done.
Abe's got a tough putt here to save his par. Converts it.
All things considered, take that. Back on the birdie train right there for Emerson.
Next up, we got hole 14, par 4, 520 feet. This is a new hole. You'll see it's got 2 tee pads. Obviously, our guys are going to be playing from the long. Both of these little concrete paths are OB, so it's a pretty thin fairway until it starts to get to about right here by this light pole and opens up. But then as we swing around to the left over here, you'll see this is a tight green, only about 10 to 15 feet on either side of this basket. So the approach is really, really interesting on this hole. All of these guys are probably just going to try to bomb one out here in the field and then have a little backhand hyzer approach.
Seen a couple pros too, just throwing for the green and hoping for the best, seeing if they can stick one here.
Yeah,
that's like we're seeing with Fredy.
That's what it looks like here. This is a really interesting line. I can't tell exactly where that disc went. Looks a little short.
Yeah, I think that's a little short. The thing is, if you can get it all the way back there, you can take your drop, right there on circle's edge, basically, inside of...
And, he He goes out and then back in.
Wow.
He pushed up there far enough to where that starts to cut back. That did not look like it was coming back in at first. I'll be honest, I don't know what line that was that Fredy threw a while ago. I played this tee pad as well, and there was no part of me ever looking that direction. I was just trying to hit the big gap right in front of me. So
I know.
we're gonna see. He's gonna have to re-tee. So.
Yeah. It's definitely super risky.
Oh man, he's going for it again.
I've heard of some pros that were attempting this, and just if you blast it past the basket, and you're taking your drop up there.
Ooh, that's a risky upshot there.
Yeah, that's out. But I guess he'll have a putt for the par.
See, I kind of think that from that position, it should be backhand, swinging out over the right side of that OB, and then just kind of letting it filter back in. It's tough, though, because you do have trees over there to worry about.
I think, what makes this hole kind of unique is that it does give you a lot to think about on the tee, and especially that second shot. It's not a lot of area to land into.
And there's Freddie's second tee shot. And did he hang on, or is that OB again?
You could see the conditions still. Yeah, I'm not sure. It might have still been good. We're tight.
We'll see what he scored here.
So now into hole 15, par 4, 470. This is by far has to be one of the easiest holes. Definitely seen quite a few twos. A little bit of trouble off the tee, but it just, it opens up. And I'll tell you what, I think everybody got a BigFoot bonus by me making this a par 4. So we'll see how these guys attack it.
This is definitely the easiest hole on the course, averaging .86 below par. Coming in at 80% birdie or better rate here. So this is a must get for all these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, it almost feels like if you don't make it 2, you're leaving a shot out there easily.
Surprisingly, only a 18% eagle rate on the weekend. It's actually not as high as I would think.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a 80% birdie or better. So lots and lots of birdies on this hole. We are seeing pretty calm conditions today, though, so that those stats may change over the weekend if the wind increases. Emerson's going to have a putt from over there, albeit long. There's really two different shots here. Everyone elected to take the down the middle shot today with the calmer conditions. There is a wide hyzer shot there that we may see guys take in later rounds.
Man, tough one right there from Fredy. As you can see, this one does have a little bit of elevation to it. It's perched up just a touch. Abe converting there. Beautifully done there for GT. Just cleaning up here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think most people, if they're taking their birdie, hope maybe an eagle, but really a 4 or worse there just feels like you're falling behind. But now we're going to move to 16, par 5, 1,000 foot here. This is a new tee pad for this hole. Same basket location as last year, so most of these guys know the basket. But that new tee, as you saw back there, you're going to be throwing through a long alleyway of telephone poles, and then second shot getting around both of those Mandos, and then third shot getting up here to the green, making sure not to go long OB in the canal.
Yeah, double Mando doesn't really come into play here for these pros, but you definitely want to make sure you get far enough down there so you can attempt to go for this 1 and 2 to get it up and around.
Yeah, the tough part is with us being further right here than last year, the second shot of getting around the next set of Mandos is really tough if you don't get the full distance here. This is moving right. Does it break through? Okay, he might can do something there. That's going to be pretty cut off. You'll see that angle in a second when we get up to that shot. This is what you really want here. Long, straight, as far down that fairway as you can possibly get to set yourself up for the next angle shot.
Sidearm more.
This is a hole that I know the last couple years is a big one for Fredy. Part of the reason he was two-time champ here, eagling this hole almost every round that he's played out here. So with this new tee pad, let's see how these guys approach.
So you can see Emerson's far enough up there that he can just throw stock forehand. Some of the guys that are a little further back or a little more to the right are going to be a lot more closed off and may not be able to throw that. GT's got plenty of arm to get it, though. I'm interested to see Abe's position, especially here.
I don't think he tried to go too aggressive with it, but definitely this one here from Abe. He's got that Mando to contend with here.
He's further up than I thought he was, so this is more of a stock forehand than what I thought it would be. So, yeah, they all put it in a pretty good position there. Should be an easy 4 for all these guys with where they put the disc. Although we do have a ceiling here to contend with on this little upshot.
Oh, yeah. Easy game. Easy game for GT.
Abe having to do a little bit of a lean out here. Looked like a pretty tough angle, but he makes it work.
It's got to be a signature Prodigy A3 on the approach. I'd bet some money. He throws that thing real good.
I'd bet some money that was an armadillo from Fredy. And I'd bet money that this is hitting the basket. I was gonna say right at the base, but we get a little bit of metal hit there or brick hit.
Man, he is dialed right there. It's not an easy putt right there, folks. Definitely coming back up the hill. Stance to deal with as well. But he's moving to 14 through 16.
And our feature card played this pretty well. This hole's coming in with a 45% birdie rate, so not a gimme. It's one that you probably should get if you're playing well, but these guys all birdie it.
Hole 17 here, par 3, 350 foot, playing to the island position here, B position. Definitely a new one for the tournament. Typically we play this one in the D position, but this is going to create some really interesting opportunities because at the end of the day, you can go for this, and you got to hit this island. See what GT can cook up here.
I actually think in some ways this hole is a little bit harder than when in the position that we typically play it in because of the par difference and you needing to hit the island.
Mm-hmm.
And coming up short is not the worst thing on this hole. You can just toss across and get the easy par. It's better than going for the island and not getting it, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Emerson sticks it.
Makes the island right there, leaving himself inside circle 1.
And even though this is 350, it may not show on the camera. I think this hole plays closer to 400 with how uphill it is.
Beautiful, beautifully done right there from Fredy. Ooh, almost. Almost.
Now, is this GT's drive or his upshot? Either way, he converts.
Yeah, I think this is one of those. I believe that was his par putt, if I'm not mistaken.
Emerson, of course, going to keep it rolling here, heading into the final hole of the round. He has put together a very special round here at Buffalo Run as we enter the final hole, hole 18, par 3, 383 feet. We've got a new tee pad here this year, backed up from the original one. Makes that first little gap over the pond a little tougher to hit and gives these guys a little more distance to contend with. 383 is maybe a little deceiving with the hole being uphill. Probably plays a little more like 420, 430.
And I stand corrected, folks. GT did birdie that, so great birdie from him.
Hits the tree there, but he'll have a easy upshot for par from that position. Main thing is getting over the pond, making sure that you're safe. You're going to probably take an easy par as long as you do that.
There's a Mando right there that, you know, historically some players have been able to go over the building. Oof. And that's a tough break right there from Emerson.
And this hole actually is playing slightly above par. This is one of the harder holes this weekend. Coming in as the 6th hardest hole.
Just, I think this change kind of gives everybody a little bit more to think about, because also there's OB left that's pretty tight, as well as right over the car paths, walking paths.
Great upshot there. That's going to be an easy tap in. A little wide. Does it get around the tree? It does. Pushes around the backside.
Yeah, you can see those flags there hugging that left side. There was quite a few players across all divisions that were, you know, hyzering out and going out right there.
Little short for Fredy there.
You can see the flags whipping in the back. Wind's starting to kind of pick up here late in the round.
You know, it's a tough day for Fredy. He did at one point was +5 in the round, so I think to battle back and kind of get close to even is there's something to be said there.
Absolutely.
Most people starting the round out like that would not have the mental strength to do that, so it just speaks to the type of player that Fredy is and the skill level that he comes to this tournament with.
Well, as you can see, Emerson leading the way, 1064 rated, 15 down. Connor Rock at 13, shooting 1051. Cawthorn, four-time champion at 1038 rated, and GT Hancock at 10 down, shooting at 1031. Well, Mason, any other words, any final thoughts about this round here?
Man, I'm excited to see what these guys do tomorrow. I think GT's round was maybe a little underrated just because of what Emerson did. I think it just kind of felt like Emerson shredded, but GT's right there. I mean, 5 strokes can be made up on this course just like that, especially with difficult holes like hole 2. So I'm really excited to see what do these guys do on moving day tomorrow and see who comes out on top.
I appreciate everybody who's tuning in. Be sure and like, comment, subscribe. We'd love to have your support here on YouTube and across all of our social media platforms, especially on Instagram as well as on Facebook. And also, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. You know, this event, 12th Annual Buffalo Run, sponsored by Innova, Throw Your Best, as well as Texoma Dirty Work, Landscaping and Tree Service, #1 tree cutting service in all of Texas and Oklahoma. We look forward to seeing you in round 2, and we will see you next time. BigFoot Mike and Mason, we're out. How's it going out there, everybody? BigFoot Mike coming at you live, 12th Annual Buffalo Run here in McAlester, Oklahoma. We're here with our first round leader, Mr. Emerson Keith, shooting 15 down, 1067 rated round. Emerson, first of all, congratulations. Awesome opening round. You know, your round started fast and furious, you know, 2 birdies out the gate and then an eagle on hole 3. Talk us through that hot start and how you were feeling coming into today.
Yeah, so hole 1 in my warm-ups, I was going for the pin and getting there, but I was like, don't start your tournament off like that, just play for the easy birdie. And then it slowly just started to like roll, where birdies started coming just as easy as hole 1. Hole 3, I wasn't even planning on taking the eagle. Just the tee shot went a little bit farther, and I got around the corner a little bit more and in the circle, and just had the putt that I couldn't lay up. So I just went for it, made it, and it just snowball effect from there. Just felt like I couldn't do much wrong today.
I know there's several new holes this year with the layout, and one of those being hole 6, and then a tough gauntlet of 8 and 9, which hole 9 is also a new hole. Talk us a little bit through how you approach those holes and how you're able to just keep that momentum rolling.
Yeah, is that the back-to-back par 5s?
That's right.
Okay, so hole 8, I actually threw the worst shot of like my career ever. It's on video, we're gonna see it. I threw it directly into the hill in front of me, and it just like skipped up a little bit, and then I threw an amazing recovery shot, still got the birdie. But nine's so hard. 9's crazy. I had to hit maybe like a 45, 50 footer for the birdie. I was out of position on my second shot, and fortunate to take birdie there, but I was playing good, so.
There we go. Well, you know, of course, coming down the stretch, obviously there's a couple park-style open holes that I know a lot of players are taking advantage of, and, you know, just continuing that birdie opportunities there, especially out on this course, which you've got to get them when you can. But talk us through kind of that second 9 and just your close here to finish 15 down.
Yeah, so once I was 9 through 9, I was like, oh gosh, this could be something special, and then I took a par. And I was like, okay, that's over. So let's just be smart. Don't go for anything that you weren't planning on. Just same game plan, and just keep it the same way, and you shoot well. I ended up taking a couple pars, but they weren't bad pars. So we ended up at 15, and hopefully we can roll into tomorrow and with the same game plan if conditions hold up. Could get windy out here.
Absolutely. The winds are expected to pick up a little bit, and definitely. Well, hey, Emerson, congratulations. Awesome start. We got round 2 tomorrow, Saturday. So any expectations from this point forward, just being able to keep that consistency rolling?
Just play within myself. There's some big shots out here. I know that Connor Rock's only 2 strokes back of me. That dude's got a huge arm. He throws way farther than I do. So like, don't try to match him on the distance, and there's other places on the course that I can make up for it and keep this lead until the end of Sunday.
Well, there we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you tuning in. Be sure and like, comment, subscribe, and also be sure and like, comment, and subscribe to all of Emerson's channels. We're going to be sure and tag all those below and show him some love. And hey, we appreciate all of y'all tuning in. Be sure and continue the coverage here. BigFoot Pro. My name is BigFoot Mike. Emerson Keith. We're out.
The Chalker from Innova, your 2-in-1 chalk bag and mini marker. It's a chalk clay hybrid sports sack and a PDGA legal mini. The Chalker.